LED lights have come a long way, and as you know, I love reviewing aquarium LED lights. And this one is one I've been after for a while. It is one from the brand AQQA, or I guess AQUA or Aqua? I don't know. But it is a long light, 4 foot, or with the extensions up to 5 foot. So extremely good for people with longer aquariums. There is of course an array of different sizes for everybody's aquarium size. So this actually only arrived the other day. I'm really looking forward to opening it up and having a look with you. Like normal, I have not looked at this before. The tab is still unopened and I'm going to do it with you right now. So let's have a look what you get inside the box. One thing that's great about this new surge of aquarium LEDs is the fact that it makes the hobby way more accessible for a lot of people. Back in the past, a decade ago or so, LED lights used to be, oh, it's going back in, really expensive. Really out of the price range of so many people. But now we're in this golden age where good quality LEDs don't have to be expensive. And here we can see this LED. First thoughts is it's lovely and thin. Very nice profile. It's not the thinnest LED that I've seen, but it's not fat, it's not unwieldy. It's actually quite thick as well. The profile, it's actually quite wide as well. Here you can see 4 inches, which is quite nice to see. Although the LEDs obviously don't go to the edge, that's probably 2.5 inches of LEDs with a 120-degree angle on the LED beam. So this should light back to front on most aquariums. In terms of materials, well, it absolutely feels like aluminium. There's only one way to test this though. Yeah, aluminium, which is great. That means it's not going to get too hot. Any heat it does generate is going to be taken away by this heatsink design. At the front we can see the LEDs themselves. Now it does have this quite cheap feeling cover on the LEDs. However, I've experienced this before. If you look closely around the LEDs, you can see how the light is being bent, and that is because the LEDs themselves are covered in some sort of resin or rubbery sort of silicone to protect the circuit board. The idea with the cover, although it is a bit flimsy, it's just there to stop splashes. The LEDs or condensation, the LEDs themselves are protected. That being said, the description of this only says that it's IP67. I've encountered a lot of LEDs like this which say that they're IP68. Night Crew is the worst for this, and I've done a dunk test and they're absolutely not IP68. This one is claiming IP67, which is basically splash resistance. It means you can't submerge it. It's not claiming you can submerge it. So if you drop this in your aquarium, you're probably going to have a bad time, but it's not saying that you can do that. So I'm absolutely not going to be submerging this in my tanks like I normally would to test it, because it's not claiming anything. Putting that aside, we have this box. In this box, we have this, which is a power block, obviously, for an LED. I get a 3-pin because I'm in the UK, and that attaches to this. Now look, this is not an expensive LED. This is a really good quality budget LED, which is my favourite kind of LED, okay? Because this is what most people are going to be using. This isn't your Instagram, let's show off my £1,000 light unit on my reef tank. This is, I like fish, here's my light, and I want it to do all the good things. And this is what we're getting here. There's no remote, but we do have some important features. I'll plug it in and then we can take a look. So here it is in its glory. I've just put it over my 4-foot tank. There's not a lot going on in here. There's some macroalgae and stuff growing. But I think you'll agree that this is doing an absolutely brilliant job of illuminating this aquarium. It's obviously dead center in the middle, and you can see the LEDs. I'll go through the colour changing in a minute because that was pretty cool. But look, very bright, very vibrant. We're bringing out all the colours. Lovely red colour. All the greens are looking very healthy. So this is going to bring out the coloration of your plants. It's going to bring out the coloration of your fish. And importantly, one of these can fully illuminate very well an entire 4-foot aquarium. That is fantastic. Just in case you want to know the dimensions of this tank, it's 4 foot by almost 2 foot deep. So that's a lot of spread, isn't it? And obviously top to bottom it's going to be 1.5 feet as well. So very, very impressive. So let's have a look at this control unit. At the top we have plus and minus. So this gives us the ability to make it brighter. And in fact that wasn't even on the brightest setting. So yeah, it's got an even brighter now. And turn it off, as you'd expect. There we go, that's on the brightest setting. We have colour change mode. Now this is something I probably wouldn't use very often, but some people like it. This button here just changes different colours. Now some people really like this feature. It's not something that I'm too fussed about, but look, you can make it go red. One thing it does do is if you look at the RGBs, they're the RGBs, you can actually change your colour mix. So at the moment that's white with light blue, that's white with more red. Light blue, obviously, yellow, blah blah. White with green. White with blue. So why is that important? Because it actually can change the hue of your tank. It's quite important when you've got different kinds of fish in here. You can actually tailor your light spectrum. See, it went slightly yellow then, didn't it? You can tailor your light spectrum to just how you prefer to view your fish. Now I'm used to a more blue hue, but you could have more red. So it's really good. Gives you a lot of functionality, and I think that's quite a neat little feature that a lot of people will appreciate. It also has a timer. So it's got a pretty basic timer. It's got 6, which will be yellow, blue will be 9, red will be the 12 hours. It's nice that the LED changes actually to match the time. And what that does is when you turn your light on, when you switch it from the power socket, you select that and it will basically be on for that amount of time. Now this does start with a soft start, so it won't come on full power. It'll actually come on and go from dim to bright in the morning, not to startle your fish. However, it does turn off instantly, but that's not so important. I think it's more the morning one that's the important one, because that's where your fish are asleep and then suddenly it's daytime and they get startled. Another thing that is important, which I haven't tested myself, but from the Amazon reviews, somebody has said that this light works with things like Alexa and smart plugs, which a lot of the cheaper models, not cheaper actually, it's the wrong word, a lot of the other budget models don't do. They don't have that functionality, and what happens is they lose all of their timers and everything, and every time you use a smart plug on them, you have to reset the whole thing. This apparently works with that kind of technology, so that's good to know. It might just be because it's so simple, it actually works with more high-end technology, whereas the other lights, which are a little bit more advanced with their timers and their control units, are too smart to work with smart technology, which is a bit of a weird situation. So look, I'm actually really impressed with this light. You know me, I've been through Micro, I've been through Hygger lights, I've been through Fluval lights, all sorts of different brands, and at the end of the day, they are just LEDs on some sort of mount, and they do very similar things. But there are features which tell some lights apart. The first feature I like about this is the fact that the LEDs are actually under that silicone covering, which is really important because it's going to stop water ingress. The other feature is the fact that the controller unit is actually simple, because some people just don't want the hassle of dealing with overly complicated controllers, and this is perfect because you just set it, it's done, your tank is lit, and you can move on with your day. But obviously the most important thing is the fact that it actually works. The tank is lit, the colours are bright, it's covering all of this 4-foot tank, so I don't have to buy 2 or 3 of these lights, and you know, it's job done, isn't it? And that's what you want for your aquarium. Even at a budget, I think this light is absolutely fantastic. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Once again, thanks for watching and happy fish keeping.